This demo is on trimming a bottle. So I have my chuck here. If it's bisque like the one I have, then you have to wet it so that your clay pieces that anchor down my bottle and the wheel head will stick to the chuck. Now first I'm going to place it as much in the center as I can visually tell, and then try my chuck. So this is a good fit. Your bottle should rest in the chuck right where the shoulder starts. And that really stabilizes the bottle much better than a shallower chuck. Now, first thing is to level your piece. If you have a level, then use a level. A level is very handy at this process. Now, today I'm trying to find the level with my finger. I'm holding it still and seeing where it bumps into my hand when I hold it right where my finger just touches the bottom of my piece. So that looked pretty level. Now I'm going to anchor my piece to the chuck. And again, this only works because I wet the chuck before. If you forget to do it, these pieces can easily fly off. Now, after the piece is leveled and anchored into the chuck, I center the chuck. Then you have to anchor the chuck to the wheel. And then I'm ready to trim. And trimming is the same concept as any other form. The bottle may be a little hard to grasp because unlike open forms, you can't turn it over and check how thin your walls are if you have the habit of doing so. So for bottles, you really need to remember how the inside shape looked when you threw the piece. And now I'll just trim the sides. And then trimming the bottom flat. I'm using the flat part of my trimming tool, starting from the middle and taking it out horizontally. For bottles, I sometimes don't trim the piece if it has a nice weight and shape. For this piece, I'll make a recessed foot and not a typical foot where it's a raised foot. So this is up to you. You can consider designs of the foot in relation to how the whole bottle will look. I'm done with the bottom. Now I'm just going to look at how it looks outside of the chuck. And just specifically for my piece, I have a marble piece, so I will then trim the outside of the bottle upright to get more of the design of the marbling come out. You can do this with any bottle though if you want to do fine adjustments to the shape of the piece or add any details in the trimming process. You can always trim a piece upright. And again, for my piece, I marbled two kinds of blades together so you can see how the marbling effect becomes more visible when I trim the piece. Doing some finishing touches. And yeah, that looks pretty good. So I think I'm done.